This is Joshua Hart here for Seconds Out. Delighted today to be joined by Michael the Problem McKinson. Michael, it's a big time for yourself. We've had a fight announcement, and it's not the fight announcement I was expecting when we last spoke. When we last spoke, you'd just been ordered to fight for the EBU. Instead, IBO world title, Copper Box Arena in London on a massive Sky Sports card. I guess this is the big fight you've been calling for, isn't it?
Yeah, I am mandatory for the EBU, but the champion Geordie Weiss, the French guy, he's got a voluntary. Then it'd probably have to go to purse bids, and I'd probably be waiting another 6 months. So, um, the IBO opportunity came about, and it's an opportunity that I'm going to grab with both hands. For me, at this stage of my career, 10 years deep, fighting at world level 2 years ago, and nothing really since. It's a fight that will catapult me back to the amazing big time boxing. So must win. Great opportunity, great opponent. But it's a level that I believe I'm at, world level, and it is good to go out there and show everyone and remind everybody how good I am.
And just how good is it to have been given that opportunity? Because every time I think we spoke, I remember when I first interviewed you, like we were just saying off camera in Rome, when you were fighting out in Italy just to keep busy. I remember you always saying that you want a big opportunity, and at times it seemed like it was getting close to getting one, then it would fade away again. But it's signed, sealed, and delivered this time. Just how good is it to finally have that big fight again that you've been missing?
Yeah, it's real good. I owe a lot of thanks to obviously Boxer for putting this on. Joe Ashford, who looks after me, he's really fought my corner over the last probably 18 months, 2 years. I'm not a guy that's been blessed with being backed and being given opportunities for no reason. I've had to really earn them. And there's always been kind of that feeling in my head, I deserve better. I deserve better. Now I've got better. Um, so yeah, it's very exciting to have this opportunity as the home fighter, which is mental.
And then you take on Tulani Mbenge, if I've said that correctly. Uh,
Yep.
what do you know about him so far? Because Ben Shalom seems to be very big on him, saying that he's not an easy fight.
Oh wow. No, he's not. Right. So Tulani Mbenge, he was IBO champion a few years ago. Um, two defeats. His last defeat came out in Paris against Sissoko, the WBC number one,
Yep.
and he lost on a split decision over 12 rounds. And when you lose in Paris to the Frenchman on a split decision, you really won the fight. So, and he's a world class operator, Sissoko. So, Mbenge is definitely a world class opponent that's been there and done it. Um, he's not a high knockout record, 15 KOs out of 20 wins. He's a dangerous guy. But I love being in the danger zone. I love being in with somebody that can do damage because it makes me perform a lot better. And Benge is ranked above me in every ranking that I've seen, whether that be BoxRec, whether that be the IBO, whether that be the WBC, all of the governing bodies. He's ranked higher than me. Um, so yeah, this is underdog season again, and that's what makes me happy.
Well, like we were just saying off camera, we were talking about some boxing matches coming up and talking about how, you were saying how much you'd love to see the underdog do well. You're the underdog this time. Just looking at the fight itself, though, you mentioned if you win, it kind of catapults you. Obviously, the IBO, while it's not always recognized by boxing fans as one of the big world titles, it definitely gets you a seat at the table. It secures a
Yeah,
place for you at the table, doesn't it?
yeah, that's well put there. You look at a couple of the IBO champions currently. Usyk's got the IBO alongside the world titles. Bivol's got the IBO alongside the world titles. So um, it can definitely get me the opportunities for the elite names. Definitely winning the IBO. For example, many years ago, or not many years ago, but Sebastian Formella won the IBO. He managed to get the Sean Porter fight off of that for having the IBO. So, um, like you said, it definitely gets us gives me a seat at the table. I'm one fight away from massive, massive names. So yeah, it's a very important fight. Mbenge would be the hardest opponent that I would have been in the ring with other than Ortiz, definitely. The IBO is the best title I've ever boxed for, definitely. So yeah, this is big for me, for my city, for my team. This is big.
When we compare this fight to the Ortiz fight, which feels almost like a lifetime ago now. I remember when that fight week rolled about. It feels ages ago, that Ortiz fight week. But
Yeah.
what fight would you say there's more to gain? Because while there's a very prestigious title, and like I said, there's a seat at the top table waiting for you now with the IBO being on the line. But which fight would you say there's more to gain? Let's say if you were to beat Ortiz or winning this fight against Mbenge.
Oh, if I was to beat Ortiz, I would be the boy. I'd probably be a millionaire now. Like, but I had nothing to lose against Ortiz. I was 9-1 underdog. Nobody thought I would get out of the first 3 rounds. So kind of, although I lost, and you can't be proud of a loss, no way can you be proud of a loss. There was a lot of positives and a lot of praise that came my way after Ortiz. So I kind of, although I lost, I won. Like in terms of, I proved that I was world level. Um, I proved that I don't look out of place at world level. Whereas since I've witnessed firsthand what it's like. With a loss, people can forget about you, 100%. And somebody like me who's never been well backed, well looked after, um, with a loss, they will forget about me. And I like the one thing that I'm very lucky since the Ortiz fight, I've not gone back to small hall boxing, which could have easily happened. Lost the Ortiz fight was my third and final fight with the matchroom deal that I had. Um, there was a bit in my brain after the Ortiz fight when the phone wasn't ringing. I'm going to be going back to small hall where I started, but I haven't. Been boxing on the boxer events and getting great opportunities. But losing this one, it could happen. People could forget about me. It's a losing isn't an option. Um, my girlfriend's pregnant. I'm having another baby. Like, I can't be going back to fighting up for small hall money. No chance, you know? And that's the fact is I'm an experienced professional. I've tasted what it's like at the top table, and I want to eat at that top table. I want to continue to eat at that top table. It's been 2 years kind of um not getting what I deserve and not boxing people that I should be boxing, but that don't matter now. We're back. We're back with a proper fight. We're back with a fight where there's that fear factor. And yeah, it's exciting. I'm very motivated.
Looking back at the Ortiz fight, not necessarily the performance, but after a performance, what you put in, and obviously, while you said there's no reason to be proud of the defeat, but take at the time, obviously, you took Ortiz longer, like further in the fight than what anyone else had taken him.
Yeah.
Was there any point in your mind where you thought I might start getting opportunities anyway, or was it almost the opposite, where you took the bogeyman of the division so far in a fight and made it tricky from at times that it almost kind of threw you into the who needs him type of club?
It made me the bogeyman. Right. I left Texas with so much praise, so much respect and recognition, and so much reassurance that there was big things coming. So in the back of my head, things were gonna be all right.
Mm.
Like it was a bitter pill to swallow. It was very tough, but I had just proved I was world level. I cut Ortiz. I was winning rounds against Ortiz. I showed I had a massive heart. So I thought things was going to come, and people told me big things are going to come. It wasn't the case at all. I've boxed 4 times since against good opposition, but way down from world level. Opposition where I was expected to win, but I did win. I haven't lost a round since. I've lost 1 round out of 28 rounds. Since the Ortiz fight. I've knocked 2 of them out. So I've not put a foot wrong. So it's good to finally get an opportunity at a few levels higher than what I've been competing at, because I don't want to sit about having pointless fights. I'm 10 years deep into this career. Like, I want important fights. I want fights that are important to me and my career. And we're finally back there.
And you mentioned you don't want pointless fights and you want fights that have a fear factor. And this fight has just that. You mentioned how dangerous Mbenge is.
Yeah.
How much, not necessarily easier is it to motivate yourself in training, but it brings out a bit of an extra gear when there is that fear factor, doesn't it?
Yeah. I've known about this fight since way back, the beginning of the summer.
Okay.
It was just I've been hard at work training since May, because there was earlier dates that I thought I was going to be fighting. Got delayed again, got delayed again, and then we finally got a date. So it's been a long summer. My whole summer was cancelled. Um, so now that we finally got a date and it's finally announced, we're here. But I'm in great shape. I've been preparing a while for this. So yeah, like, no excuses. Come October 19th, everyone will see the best Michael McKinson for sure. Um, was out in the States the other month training. I was up in Manchester last week having some real good. I got back yesterday. Having some real good spars with Jack Rafferty, who's fighting for the British super lightweight title. Um, and I'll fly back out to the States in a couple of weeks to finish my sparring and finish camp. So yeah, no excuses. Like, no what ifs. No, do you know what I mean? This is the biggest fight of my career. It's a must win, and this is the fight that's going to open up great fights down the line for me.
You mentioned having previous dates for this fight and delays and not having a summer. Is there any fear of potentially overtraining your body? So do you have to maintain
Yeah,
that?
I'm far too experienced to have overtrained. Um, I listen to my team. So, for example, we were out in New York, however long ago it was, and that's when the date that we thought we were fighting was cancelled. So it's just and so I was out in New York still training, but it's allowed me to rest more. It's allowed me to pace it a lot better, and to just tick over and stuff like that. Yeah, but I'm in great shape right now. I'm sparring well. I'm fit, um, and I'm very motivated. I'm very excited. Less than 5 weeks time, my city of Portsmouth are gonna travel to the capital and be be given a great night. So yeah, it feels good. It feels good to be relevant again. My whole city's buzzing. My whole city's buzzing since the announcement. Like last week was mega for me. Me and my girlfriend announced that we were having a little boy in March. Then my fight that I've been waiting for ages gets announced a few days later, and um, so everything's happening now, and it feels good after such a slow year. And like I've been training all year, like, do you know what I mean? So it's been very slow, but finally we can look up.
Just talk to me about the sparring in the States. Obviously, you mentioned going out there to finish off your sparring. What's the difference in the sparring in the UK and then sparring out in the States?
Yeah, so I'm very fortunate to have a great sponsor in HSBM. They really, this will be the third time in the States training in the last year. It's good, like, but this is not my first. Like, I've trained in the States. I was over in Philly on my own for 3 weeks back in 2019, and um, there's a lot of times I've had to travel on my own for like rounds and stuff. But yeah, me and my dad, we've been out the States a few times, and we're going again. It's I can't spend a camp in Portsmouth. I need to be out of my comfort zone. I love hostility. I like to throw myself with hostility, going into gyms where I'm the English kid and they all want a piece of me, and I've got to earn I've got to earn my stripes and I've got to earn respect the hard way. I love all of that. I love all of that. Like built-in mental warfare. Like it's such a great feeling earning people's respect in gyms like that in the States. And as you could imagine, um, so yeah, it's exciting to be going back over the States and having it tough and really getting that good preparation.
And then just lastly on this bit before I switch the attention somewhat to elsewhere, what happens October 19th, Michael McKinson versus Tulani Mbenge, IBO world title. What happens that night?
Um, how it's gonna go is however I want it to go. Um, people were saying Tulani Mbenge is very dangerous. He's rangy. He's got this. He's got that. Great. You're forgetting what I can do. And people have seen over the last probably 18 months that I can punch. I've been stopping people. I've been genuinely dropping people. I've been hurting people. I've been showing that kind of area to my craft nowadays. But you're forgetting if I have to, and I have to go back to being smart, switched on, which I probably will. This is a high level fight. My boxing IQ will always win. As long as I'm very fit, very conditioned, my brain will always win. So I've always got that there. No matter what, however it comes, there will be a McKinson win. It's a must win for me, my family, my team, my city.
And then just while I've got you, a lot of big fights are going on the boxing sphere at the moment. Obviously, notably next weekend, 7 days time. This time next week, we'll all be sitting down getting ready for Riyadh season to take over at Wembley as Anthony Joshua versus Daniel Dubois tops the bill. It's a fight. Whenever I've interviewed somebody, they always don't quite know how to say it's going to go, but that's the beauty of heavyweight boxing. But how do you see that fight playing out in your mind?
Yeah, we're actually going to go up for that fight. We've got tickets to go. A bit gutted about the Josh Kelly and Liam Smith fight not happening now. But great card. Um, how do I see the main event going?
Yes.
I wouldn't. I don't want to be boring and just give the same answer as most other people, but like one thing I will say, I will definitely not write Daniel Dubois off. He's young, hungry, he's strong, and it's heavyweight boxing. Do you know what I mean? Anyone can really get hurt in heavyweight boxing. It depends how Joshua comes, and Joshua's looking like he's come from strength to strength under Ben Davison. He's looking good under Ben Davison. So I probably will back Joshua. Um, but I would never write Daniel Dubois off in this fight. Definitely not.
I'm going to try something here. So I've done this in a few interviews recently. So I'm going to say five different attributes, and I want you to say who's better out of AJ and Dubois and why. So I'll start off with power.
Power, I would say AJ.
In what any in particular reason?
I think just his finesse is a lot better. Um, he's quicker, or you're probably going to say stuff like that. And his timing's a little bit better. I just think all round with power, his explosiveness, I would say AJ.
Fair enough. And then speed.
Yeah,
I already kind
I
of know the
think
answer.
that kind of comes with it. I would probably say AJ in terms of explosive, and when you hit like personally, yes.
IQ.
So that again, see, it's not doing Dubois ju- not doing Dubois justice because he can definitely pull this off. But IQ is AJ. He was an Olympic gold medalist. You don't become Olympic gold medalist not being able to box.
Mm.
The way he changed it all around, like when he lost to Ruiz and the next fight, how switched on he was, and he's got a great IQ, and also the Ben Davison stable. They're a great stable, and I feel like AJ's like I said comes from strength to strength.
Right. I'm hoping the next two that I'm going to say are going to have a bit more of a debate in your mind before you answer.
Go
So
on.
I'll go with Hart first.
Hart. I think if we take hunger,
Like that.
kind of that's similar to Hart. I think Dubois got it. He's young. Um, he's very hungry. Like for a young guy, he's like he has been in the ring in big fights, and like people forget how like he's what 26 or so. I don't know how old he
I
is.
think he turned 27 like last week.
Right, yeah, like, and he's been in with Usyk and do you know like, and he's another guy that's come from strength to strength, really,
Hmm.
Dubois. So I'll give Hart to Dubois.
So the last one, this is the one that always seems to stump most people, but endurance.
Mm, neither.
Either.
um, mm, yeah, I don't know. Heavyweight boxing, I feel like Joshua has that experience. He's gone like the long distance in the important fights a few more times now, and when the going gets tough, and I think Joshua.
And
Like
then
to be fair, with Hart, right? There's I know that people say Dubois quit and things like that. So listen, I'm gonna go because I forgot about stuff like Joshua landslide, but that doesn't justify how the fight's gonna go at all.
exactly. Just want to get your thoughts on the main event of the card that you'll be fighting on, Adam Azim versus Ohara Davies. It's a fight that really interests the boxing fans. When you see a
Mm.
fight like this, it's the up and coming prospect, the next best thing versus a fighter who's been at that top level in Ohara Davies. It's a crossroads fight, and it's something that it has that extra bit of interest in it.
Yeah, Joe, like I've actually sparred both of them in my lifetime.
Wow.
Uh, probably O'Hara probably don't ever know that I've sparred him, but I was about 15 years old.
Okay.
He was obviously older than me. At the old TKO gym, I went up and I sparred him, and he beat the hell out of me. Right, like he took a liberty on me. Like, um, I was a kid. He probably don't even know to this day.
Fair enough.
I've always remembered that. I sparred Adam. He came down just before I boxed Congo. What a nice lad Adam is. He had unbelievable hand speed. And yeah, unbelievable like talent Adam is. I think this is people are classing it as like on O'Hara's last performance and what happened in O'Hara's last fight. You know, people think right, he's shot now, and somebody of Adam Azim's speed, and he's just going to blitz him out there. I don't necessarily think that's going to be the case at all. O'Hara's been there, done it. He is a very experienced guy. And this is Adam's biggest test yet, like 100%. So I don't think it's going to be as straightforward as Adam getting in there, walking through him with his hand speed at all, and O'Hara being flattened on his back in the first round like last time. I don't think that's the case. I think Adam's probably going to have to come through a lot in this fight. Um, but I do think he can pull it off. I do think Adam can um, be victorious. Uh, but it ain't going to be what a lot of people are thinking. I think it's going to be a lot harder.
Would you say people are writing O'Hara off because there's always been that saying in that you're only as good as your last performance?
Yeah, yeah.
Would you say
It,
that's the reason why people are writing him off?
I think so, and also like people are writing him off because of the way his last fight went.
Hmm.
Um, I think there's plenty left in the tank of O'Hara. But we will see. It's definitely got a lot of people talking. Um, I was down at the presser the other day at the Peacock, and O'Hara can definitely sell a fight. He's unbelievable. They would like he had.
What was the atmosphere like in that press conference? Because they ended up not being able to live stream it on YouTube. So,
I
yeah.
think they planned that just before they must have because maybe Ohara gave him warning that he's going to go in on people. I don't know. I was surprised because one minute you see like Ohara being really respectful to people and like playing the nice guy Ohara, and then he can really turn it up and talk crap about anyone. And oh, no one was safe in that room except Lewis Hart.
I remember seeing that
Nobody.
on your Twitter. I remember seeing that on your Twitter the other day.
Yeah, and it just goes to show like Tex and feel like he's such a nice guy, Lewis. And um, O'Hara said when he had lost he didn't get anything from anyone except Lewis Hart texted him, and that's why he showed love to Lewis. Yeah, no one was safe in that room, and no one really knew where to look. It was actually great. I don't know how much they had to edit and how much they actually shown, but it was great to be there. But yeah,
Well, Michael, I'm going to leave it there. It's been enjoyable catching up with you as always. And if we don't speak before October 19th, best of luck. But I'm sure we'll end up speaking again before
try
then.
and be there. Try your best to be
I'll,
there.
I'll, I'll, I'll do my best. I'll have a
Mhm.
word with a few people and get myself down. Why not?
Yeah,
Cool. As
brilliant.
always, pleasure, my
Well,
friend.
you tell them whoever's higher up, tell them I asked for you to be there. Yeah.
I will let them know. I will let them know. Michael. Thank you very much, my friend.